What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna get right into it. I want to speak about this Puff Daddy situation with him recently being taken into custody by the feds. They charged him on, they charged him with several different charges. Trafficking, racketeering, and stuff like that, right? Um, Amongst other things. But I want to talk about. I want to like draw the lines, the ties between and the similarities between Puff Daddy and street drug dealer Nicky Barnes, and because I think there's a lot of parallels between you know the Nicky Barnes and the way he carried himself, the way he lived, and the same thing with with Puff Daddy. Now Nicky Barnes, I think Nicky Barnes, Puff Daddy had like a 30-year run. Nicky Barnes they had nowhere near a 30-year run, and so, but they still called Nicky Barnes like Mr. Untouchable. And so I'm thinking like with a 30-year run, Puff Daddy probably thought he was Mr. Untouchable too, until until people started suing him for with Cassie, and then recently he just lost over $100 million lawsuit, and so a lot of people have been coming out and suing him, and so now that there's been some chinks in Mr. Untouchable's armor, and he don't seem so untouchable anymore. But like I said, the similarities between Nicky Barnes and Puff Daddy are just, it's just a lot of them. For instance, Nicky Barnes was also he was flamboyant. He liked to dress. He had all the clothes, the shoes. He had properties all over the place. Now the difference between Puff Daddy and Nicky Barnes is Nicky Barnes was a street drug dealer, right? Now people have said that Puffy might have been involved. There's some allegations that he could have been involved in drug trafficking, but that that's not basically what his charges are as far as a drug trafficking. He did a guy did get arrested for being like his drug mule recently, like around the same time his houses was raided. They pulled as a matter of fact, it was the same day they pulled a guy off of Puff Daddy's private plane, and he was supposedly Puff Daddy's drug mule, right? And so, but a lot, like I said, I'm gonna get back into these similarities between Puff Daddy. Now, Nicky Barnes was convicted back in, I think it was in the late 70s, like 77. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. And so now if Puff Daddy is convicted and get a sentence, with all these charges that they got against him, I think he looking at a lot of time too. Maybe life, maybe not life. But another thing I think is trending towards what might happen with Puff Daddy is, and this is what happened with Nicky Barnes. After Nicky Barnes went to prison, for a few years, he started to cooperate with the with law enforcement. And when he started to cooperate with law enforcement, that led to some of his associates being some of Nicky Barnes' associates being convicted and brought to justice. And so Puff Daddy has already said that if he go down, he's not going down by himself. So it's already public knowledge that Puff Daddy, is willing to he already made that be known that he's willing to take down people who he think who was involved and participated in some of these activities with him. And so I just think that the similarities between these guys, it's just crazy. Like I said, one was a street drug dealer, and one is, was more so into trafficking. Puffy was more so getting charged with trafficking, not just trafficking, but also racketeering. I think Nicky Barnes also has some racketeering charges. But the thing I think people really going to have to watch out for, like I said, is Puff Daddy might take a page out of Nicky Barnes' book and just start cooperating with the police and turning on his associates. This, and now if Puff Daddy is able to use the information he have on his associates as leverage, I think that he'll definitely do that. This case right here is going to be this is going to be a big case. It's going to be a lot of salacious details and stuff coming out. This might, in my opinion, this case probably could be bigger than the O.J. Simpson trial, that happened like back in, I think the O.J. Simpson trial happened back in the early 90s, like around 92, 93, maybe even 94, but around 94, the O.J. Simpson trial was going on. But this is going to be a crazy trial, and I'm thinking that Puff Daddy is really going to try and drag some people down with him. And especially if he thinks that will help him to, if it'll help him in any way, he definitely won't hesitate. So, hopefully this trial will be, televised. I don't know if they're going to televise it, but hopefully this will be televised, because I know if this trial is televised, it's going to be a whole lot of people going to be watching. A whole lot of people is going to be keeping up with it. But I think that this guy Puff Daddy, I think he's going to do some snitching. There's already been rumors that Puff Daddy has been he was already an informant for the government, and so if he was an informant, so it won't be anything new to him to take a page, like I say, out of Nicky Barnes' book and just turn it on his associates. He basically lived the same life as a gangster. It's the only difference between Puff Daddy and Nicky Barnes is Puff Daddy he's not a street dealer like Nicky Barnes was. But basically, if their two lives really just paralleled. And I think, if you know anything about Nicky Barnes, and you'll be able to see the similarities in the way Puffy moved and in the way Nicky Barnes moved. But that's my take on it. I'm looking forward to keeping up with this. I'm definitely going to keep up with this Puff Daddy situation, his case. He earlier today he pled not guilty, but he also was denied bail, and I think the reason probably behind that is Puffy is a man of means. He have access to private jets, even though they say he turned over his passport, but who knows? He may still have been able to find a way to leave the country and to go on a run. But anyway, they denied his bail. But I'm definitely looking forward to tracking this case and see how this thing turned out. It's going to be, this case is going to have a whole lot of twists and turns. Let me know what you think. That's my take on it. Let me know what you think. Do you think that there's any similarities between Nicky Barnes and Puff Daddy? And with that being said, don't forget to leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll check you all out on the next video. Peace.